those two freaks line up across from each other, or beside each other, I should say, moving forward. Now, speaking of that, let's talk a little contract here before we get ready to wrap up. There's still a few names here to kind of keep your eye on, guys. Obviously get the Zach Tom deal done. We said that was at the top of the list. You get that out of the way. Notable potential contract extension for Green Bay Packers this camp. Now, it's not to say that they're going to sign them, but these are some that could potentially happen. Christian Watson is going to be an unrestricted free agent. Rasheed Walker, unrestricted free agent. Quay Walker, unrestricted free agent. Malik Willis, Romeo Doubs, all unrestricted free agents. Now, Devontae Wyatt, you got a little buffer. You slapped him with a fifth-year option for 2026, so he's under contract next year with that fifth-year option. However, what we've seen in the past, you can still get a deal done. I would not be surprised out of this list if it's Devontae Wyatt that gets the contract extension. And hopefully it doesn't have to break the bank. But when you look at the full list here are your unrestricted free agents. Those are the ones I mentioned that I feel like are prime to be re-signed. And I'm gonna read them off again, plus a couple others. Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Christian Watson, Mecole Hardman. If he shows something, who knows? Maybe you bring him back on a little bit larger deal, right? John Fitzpatrick, Isaiah Simmons, another one we're keeping our eye on, right? Physical freak. Josh Jacobs talking about him today, calling him a unicorn, saying this dude is a freak athlete on the field. Really excited to see him in preseason. Malik Willis, Sean Ryan, another one. Sean Ryan, to the best of my knowledge, took the number 1 reps at center today. I wouldn't – if Jacob Monk isn't ready, I'm okay with Sean Ryan playing center. As long as there's no botched snaps, he's got that part down. Sean Ryan might be the guy for that job until Elton comes back, if it truly is a back injury and it lingers into the regular season at some point. Zane Anderson, would love to see him back, right? Christian Welch, Matt Orzik, Trey Hill, and then Romeo Doubs, of course. Several of those guys, I would like to see all those on my list back right here. Would love to see them all back for the right price. I'm going to get your all's take. I'll start with you, Jacob. Devontae Wyatt, I think, will be at the top of my list here. Second would probably be Quay Walker, because you've got the maneuverability with the cap and you got room there at linebacker as long as you're not breaking the bank. Malik Willis, I'd love to see back for the right price, and Christian Watson. To me, it's between Devontae Wyatt and Christian Watson and Quay Walker. Those three are the top of the list for me. What do you think, Jake?
Man, I'm a little bit different here, and people are probably going to think I'm crazy. My list would probably go Walker, Watson, Willis, Wyatt, Quay Walker. Man, I hate saying that I'm willing to let Doubs go, but I think Malik Willis would be a shame if we let that guy walk. I think that right now we have the best backup quarterback, especially for the system that we have in the NFL. I really do. And God forbid anything happens to Jordan Love. I think that if you have a guy like Malik Willis locked in for the next 2 or 3 years or whatever it is, you consistently still have a chance to go win a championship if, again, God forbid anything happens to Jordan Love. With the Rasheed Walker, I just don't understand how you let a 7th-round draft pick that's completely been producing at a crazy high level, you just let him walk out. I understand we've got the draft capital that we put on the other guys. Christian Watson, he's an athletic freak who, when he is healthy, he is a game changer. He is the type of player that you need to game plan around. So I've seen some people calling him, Mr. Glass and all that. I think that's just unfair. The guy has done nothing but go out there and put his body on the line. If I had to take a choice between Watson and Doubs, I'm going Watson 9 times out of 10. And obviously Devontae Wyatt deserves to be on this team. I think that 5th-year option gives us a little bit more time to try to figure out if we can make this other things work. And then obviously I'm not going to want to let Quay Walker walk away. I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
It is, for sure. What do you think, Tim, about this list here, man? Any comments you got on this?
Nothing that Jacob didn't just say already for me.
Sorry.
I feel you, Jacob, because and I kind of feel for Malik Willis too, because not that he doesn't love being here and being a Packer, but like we said before, a guy like Malik Willis could probably start on a handful of other teams in this league at this point in his career. So you'd hate to see a talented younger player kind of coming into his prime, kind of stuck as a backup, so to speak. However, it's a good thing for us because, like Jacob said, we got scared to death last year. We saw it a couple of times. Jordan missed some games. We know what it's like, and having a top tier backup is something that you can't take for granted. So I would agree with the sentiment that Malik Willis would be a guy you want to make an effort to bring back. But I think number 1 on this list for me personally would actually be probably Rasheed Walker, because I agree with Jacob. I think we got more bang for our buck than we ever thought we would thus far out of him. And I think he would be a guy that I would try and make a Packer at least near long term, at least give him that second contract. So, but I'm not a money guy. I don't know. I don't really get into the cap as much as some other people do. But looking at this list, those would be my favorites. And then obviously Christian Watson for sure. And then Quay is a guy that you got to watch this year. We want to see what happens this year, right?
Yeah.
And then Rome is, he's in a crowded wide receiver room. What are you going to do? We talked about it. I agree with you, Jacob. Probably take Scoot over Rome as much as I like Mr. Dobbs.
Yeah, for me, in terms of Malik Willis, I want him back so bad, man. I would love to get him on a 3-year deal. You know what I mean? That's manageable. When I say manageable, somewhere between $5 to $7 million. I know Robert in the chat says Malik Willis would want to try to get a starting job somewhere else. I agree with that. I think he would want to get a starting job. I mean, why would he not? He's going to be stuck behind Love for a while. However, when you look at the draft class coming out this year, they're projecting 6, as it is right now, and again, it could change, 6 first-round picks, quarterbacks, coming up in this draft. This draft is loaded with quarterback talent, right? And again, it could shake out by the time the season ends and you get all the way into the draft season and everything. But if you got 6 guys potentially in the first round, and then you got Malik Willis and however many other free agent quarterbacks that may be on the market, I don't think the market is going to be too hot for someone like Malik Willis. And simply because, you know how the market works, man, supply and demand. If you've got a high supply of quarterbacks, which it looks like they will with the draft, and there's going to be free agent quarterbacks as well, then, you know what I mean, the price is going to be driven down quite a bit. Now, we'll see. A lot of things can happen throughout the season, but maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part, wanting Malik Willis back as the backup quarterback. So it's going to be exciting to see how all that unfolds as well. So